Doctor, look.
Stand aside, nurse. I'm Dr. Homebrew.
Stand clear.
Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us again. It's another episode of Dr. Homebrew, our second contractual obligation for the month of April here on the Brewing Network. And we're at home. We're locked down. We're quarantined. I don't know what we're doing. We're sheltering in place. I mean, I am. I know you guys aren't. You guys are still working and living life. But I'm here hunched over huddled in a blanket for most of the day.
We're sipping in place, man. Sipping in place.
God, get out of here with that. I wish I had an individual channel just to mute you specifically, Cooper, after that comment. But
we didn't choose the Corona life. The Corona life chose us.
That's right. That's right. Before we get into the beers, of course, I do want to thank our sponsor, 5 Star. You can go to 5starchemicals.com and learn about all of them. As Brian Cooper was saying on the last show, there's a ton more people homebrewing. People are getting back into homebrewing because of this specific shelter-in-place kind of thing going on. Hopefully those people know about 5 Star Chemicals, and if you know one of those people and they don't know about 5 Star, just make sure that they're using 5 Star, because that is the best. You want the best for your homies. Look, excuse me, we can't hug and kiss our homies goodnight anymore. The least that we can do is make sure that their beers are clean and their carboys are sanitary, and the only way to do that, the best way, 5 Star Chemicals.
Yeah, you use your bleach to clean the toilets, man. Friends don't let friends use bleach to sanitize.
That's right. That's right.
I wonder if PBW kills or Star San kills coronavirus. Not that I want to make any FDA unapproved claims here on the program.
Yeah, I don't think it does. I believe that I saw something from 5 Star specifically saying that it does not.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Just the chemical, I don't know. I don't know. Pretend to know anything.
Well,
about
they
it,
probably just can't say that it's guaranteed to do it, because then people would use it for that and not do it right.
Exactly.
Whatever.
It's also the virus has got like a lipid shell, right? So it's got to have like a cleaner that breaks up the lipid, which is why soap is so effective.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Breaks the fat down. So maybe PBW, but I don't know. Email them. Ask them. I have no idea. That would be cool.
Soap is your friend, and it's readily available.
Exactly.
So go for that.
Yeah.
But Star San and PBW to clean your brewing shit, and I'm glad to see the hobby having a little resurgence. And it's, I think maybe it was declining a little bit for a while, but now I hear of so many people at home. It's like, man, I brewed so many batches this month. It's just great.
Yeah, it is weird, man. And like, I sort of, like I said in the last show, I sort of want to brew again, but then I sort of don't. And really the only thing I hate about brewing is everything is all the cleaning and the kegging afterwards. That's where I'm at right now. It's, if I could just brew and then have somebody else do all of that for me, I would love doing that. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, this Saturday is Big Brew Day, and my club, the Mad Simergist, is joining in the virtual Big Brew Day event. There's
nice.
8 or 10 of us that are brewing batches. We're going to go on the gram, do a little IG live, and everybody just kind of show a little bit of their brew session of the day. I'm gonna brew. I think I'm gonna do an American Strong Ale, one of my arrogant brews, and just
of course
have some fun. Do something on the Pico, but
yeah, because why not do something super strong for the summertime?
Well, yeah, it'll be
some kick your own ass ale.
There you go.
Yeah, kick your own ass ale.
You can have a whole line of that where it's like pinch your own cheek lightly golden like cream ale or something like that.
Yeah.
Hug yourself gently to sleep mild.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you know what I mean? You could do that. Anyway, do you want to get Keith on the line?
Let's get Keith.
Yeah, let's get Keith. Probably should have done our first break, but I don't know, man.
Who needs a break?
I'm at home and I'm all like distracted and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Keith, are you there?
Hey.
What's going on, dude?
Up?
Hey, long time no talk, bro.
Yeah, I know. I miss you so much.
Oh, that's cool, man. I appreciate that.
We missed you.
Yeah. We'll edit all this out, so don't worry. You can say whatever you want, and nobody else will know.
So, Brian, was your bottle of Wee Heavy as big as mine? Look at this thing.
You guys got
Did you
big
get the
bottles?
bomber?
I got a 22-ounce bomber of Wee Heavy, dude.
Oh, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, I commit
It's
to
gonna
Wee
be a good
Heavy.
night later.
It's sipping tonight. Here we go.
Yeah, Keith is like, yeah, I made a Wee Heavy and I want to get rid of it, so I gave you more than I normally would. I'm drinking a Kolsch from Crooked Lane.
Oh, wow.
Since I don't have don't have Keith's Wee Heavy. So
Well, I'm usually getting a beer at the bar at the Hop Grenade, but instead I brought a can of Maui Wowie from Altamont Beer Works in Livermore.
There you go.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm sipping that. I'd like to have variety, but
You like
looking forward to
variety.
tasting Keith's beer here.
Yeah, me too. Oh wait, I look forward to hearing about it. Keith, have you ever made a Wee Heavy before? It's not a style most people do.
Yeah, so this is actually the style I've made the most of.
Oh wow.
The most frequently. I made this like
Wow.
6 times at this point. And, you
Wow.
know, in 2 years, I said the previous podcast, it's definitely more than, I think I made most styles once, but this one I've been trying to just nail out because, a good Wee Heavy goes a long way, I think.
That's true.
Mm,
I agree,
for
man.
sure.
Definitely agree. All right, Cooper, you want to start this one off?
Yeah,
All right,
be happy to.
let's go for it.
I just poured it. I had a nice hiss when it was opened. When I first judged it, it was on a little bit on the colder side. It had warmed up a little bit. Had a good fill level and nice to get that bomber bottle. Thank you. In the nose, there's a nice pleasant maltiness with a moderate dark caramel up front, and I'm getting a bit of kind of sweet tobacco and hints of fig. No hop, no diacetyl. Low fruity esters kind of out of the way. That's good for the style. It's really clean and inviting. I like the nose a lot. Appearance-wise, it's a medium rich copper color with a creamy light tan colored head. The head's really nice looking, just super creamy and dense, and it's actually kind of big. It seems like, well, boy, yeah, that's it's just sticks around pretty nicely too. And it does have some reddish highlights when you hold it up to the light. It's a really pretty beer. I actually gave it 3 out of 3 for appearance. The clarity is fair. It's not brilliantly clear, but that's fine. Flavor wise, I'm getting a very pleasant, rich maltiness with heavy caramel component in there. Low bitterness as expected, with a faint earthy hop only, just a little bit of hop, hint of some hop in there. Clean lower temp ale fermentation, very strongly balanced to the malt. The alcohol is, I would say, medium level, but smooth. Again, I'm getting plum and fig and some nice malt derived fruitiness here. I really like the malt character, and it's not super, it doesn't have like a super sherry like or anything like that, like you would have in an old ale. It's just clean, rich, caramelly maltiness, and that's right where I want that to be. It's nice. No DMS or acetaldehyde or diacetyl. It's nice and clean. So well done on the fermentation. Mouthfeel wise, it's a medium full bodied, maybe even bordering on full. The carbonation is, I would say, medium high, which was a little surprising. It's just maybe a bit too high, and sometimes, like I said on an earlier beer that a certain entrant put in here, like sometimes it's hard to have a beer be, more likely a beer is going to be under carbonated in a competition than over carbonated. I wouldn't necessarily say this is over carbonated to extremely, but it's a nice job keeping that CO2 in the bottle and getting it in a way that maybe it's bottle condition. I don't know. We'll ask you about that later. You could let us know. But yeah, man, it's when it was colder, it got a little bit of a bite from that too, from the just the CO2. But as it warms and you kind of let it sit a while, and it's a little bit warmer now, you get kind of a slightly velvety character in the mouthfeel, which I really like. So, overall, this is a very pleasant wee heavy with a lot of the declared style elements. The CO2 is just a bit high for the style, but not too much. I would dial that back just a touch, and that'll help remove that minor bite that it had when it was first cold. The alcohol is warming; it's going down, but it's not too much. It's smooth, and I really like this beer. I think I probably bump it up a point or two from what I had earlier. I'm going to go to a 38 on the final score.
Oh,
I think it's
wow.
It's an excellent. That puts it in excellent territory. So it is a really nice job with the beer. I'm wondering. I'd like to know how old it is, because it's not getting any bad oxidative qualities to it. But also if it's fresh, like, wow, how did you get it so smooth? What did you do to brew this? So we'll be really interested to get your recipe and your process on this one. Thank you.
Nice. All right, Shar.
Okay, so I really liked this one. This one also. But the aroma, as you would expect, when I judged this about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, it was cooler and it didn't have as much aroma. The aroma has definitely gotten a little bigger. And I should go up a point or two on that. The aroma is primarily malty, as you would expect. When I initially poured this, it was kind of right out of the fridge, so it had less aroma than I had expected. But still, it was a nice aroma, low caramel, low smokiness. And not smoke like a Rauch beer or something. It was maybe like a hint of some, there's a little smokiness there. Very low alcohol sweetness, no off aromas, no hop aromas. What was kind of weird is I don't get it now, but earlier I got like a very low level of cardboard, which I didn't get in the flavor. So I just kind of discarded that sensory input. I wrote it down, but I didn't score anything based on that. Because it was kind of anomalous. It's weird. If you smell a little bit of that and don't taste it, to me, it's not oxidation and it's not a problem. So gave it 8 out of 12 for aroma. Appearance, 3 out of 3. It's crystal clear. The head is large, rapidly collapses but persists. Color is kind of a medium to dark brown, very nice. Flavor is initially malt dominated. When I get some light caramel notes, as it warms up, I actually get a little bit of maple syrup type quality. It's certainly not like drinking maple syrup or anything, but I get like a little hint of something in that direction of flavor, kind of a maple syrup character. Get a little low ethanol sweetness. It's not harsh. You kind of need that in a beer like this. And again, it's well done. It's the challenge is always to get the alcohol flavor in without it tasting hot or unpleasant. Mid palate is balanced between the malt on the one hand, and then kind of a low hop bitterness and alcohol on the other. So the balance, it's kind of an interesting balance, but it works really well to me. I get no hop flavor at all, which is to style. Extremely well attenuated. I'd be curious later on if you took OG and FG readings, because it is a very well attenuated beer. The finish is balanced and very long, and don't get the cardboard character in the flavor. 15 out of 20. Mouthfeel, 5 out of 5. Definitely get warming on this beer. Medium full body. I thought the carbonation was maybe not as strong as Brian did. I think like a medium carb. Creamy, no astringency. Overall impression, it's a really well-made beer. It's extremely well fermented. The ethanol is very clean. I think maybe I want to, if anything, I might want a little more complexity, but that's going to come with age. And I was going to give some feedback about taking like a half a gallon or a gallon or something, depending on your batch size, and boiling that down to like reducing that to almost a syrup and putting that back in your wort. But As it warms up, I think you may have done something like that because I'm getting more complexity as it warms up. I gave it 39 out of 50. And frankly, I could easily go to like a 40 or 41 on this, I think, and be happy with that score. So very well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm finding points too that I initially had like a 37. I'm finding points here that
Wow.
that it probably deserves as well. So yeah, this is probably around a 40 point wee heavy. It's really nice.
Agreed.
Wow. Well, Keith, apparently it pays to deliver 22 ounces of beer.
Yeah, they got halfway through it before they realized it was good, right? They were too lit to think otherwise.
That's right. It's very smart of you to fortify it with Tito's vodka. It's good. No, why don't you toss us your recipe for this guy, and then we'll get into the little comment section here.
Okay, so for this beer, it was actually from a wort share that I was participating in that ended up getting canceled as well, just like the competition I was talking about earlier. So I got a bucket of 6 gallons of wort that was 100% two-row, and the gravity was 1057. That's what base beer I had to work with, and otherwise we just could have done whatever afterwards. 12 ounces of Crystal 40, 12 ounces of Crystal 60, 8 ounces of roasted barley, and 4 ounces of smoked malt, cherry wood smoked malt, actually. And I steeped those at mash temp for 30 minutes. Then I thought it was too weak personally, so I added pale LME. When it approached boil, I added a canister of it. The Munton's 3.3 pounds. And then for the hops, I did an ounce of EKG at 60, an ounce of the same at 5. Also Whirlflock, half a tablet at 15. And then Edinburgh ale yeast, 2 vials of that.
That's interesting.
I didn't do anything.
The smoky character. And then on top of that, there's a little bit, just 4 ounces of the smoked malt. That's maybe that trace smokiness that I got was coming from.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to comment on. That's a neat little trick. It's maybe not a traditional ingredient. Wee heavy, the smoke is going to come from more from roasted grains or from the boil. But it doesn't overpower it at all, and that cherrywood smoked malt can be pretty intense. So
yeah, definitely.
The way you used it, whatever you steeped it at, that's great. That little trick worked.
Nice. I love it. Keith, do you have any questions for the guys based on their feedback?
Yeah, so like I said before, I've made this 6 times, and I don't really know exactly where to go with it now. Like, I'm trying to definitely improve it, like definitely make it more of a upper scored beer. And is there a direction that y'all might bring it that would maybe give that to me? Because, aside from aging longer, like Shar said, and reducing the wort. So actually about the reducing the wort thing that Mr. Shar said, so would you do that before fermentation, or would that be like a...
No, that's before fermentation. I'll give you kind of how I do that. And I love this style of beer, and I'm really glad you shared that. And by the way, Mr. Shar is my dad.
Wow, would he work for Disney, Brian?
Shar Esquire.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just that guy. So what I'll do when I make a wee heavy, or at least I did before I got rid of my big system and got the Pico Z, is I would run off the wort from my mash tun into my kettle, and I would start heating the kettle like a minute or so before I started running that off. So that wort would hit the bottom of that kettle, and the bottom of that kettle would be really hot. So it'd start almost caramelizing. And then I'd run out maybe just play it by eye. And I'd run out maybe a gallon. I had a 10-gallon system. And I'd run out maybe a gallon of wort. And then I would just boil the hell out of that and get it down to I just eyeball it. I'd get it down to the point where I'd reduced it by like 70%, 3/4, something like that. Because what you've done when you do that is you've created unfermentable sugars. And you think, oh God, unfermentables, that's just going to screw up my attenuation, whatever. Well, what it does, it gives you a little more complexity because you take that little bit of portion of your wort. It doesn't have to be a lot. And those unfermentable long chain sugars will stay in and give you some additional flavor that you wouldn't have had otherwise. And that's kind of the point of doing that. Does that make sense from a process standpoint?
Yeah, so it would add more of a richness to it. That I mean, because you definitely want that caramelly malty richness for the style in particular as well. Right. So I mean, I would probably, I understand that.
Yeah. Concentrating and boiling is a good trick for that too, for sure.
Excellent. Any other comments, questions on either side?
None for here.
Well,
okay.
What about your water?
Oh, there we go. I knew there was one.
Yeah, so the water, like I mean, I didn't want to screw with the water too much since it was for the wort share. I didn't want to add another step for them to need to worry about and then get docked from the eliminated from the contest just from that alone. So I didn't mess with the water. I assume they use local Ashland, Virginia water. So
probably just filtered or something. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the restraint in the hops is pretty nice. You don't want this to turn into, if it gets too hoppy, they just don't taste right. It's just a pure like caramel malt bomb, and I like the richness in that. What inspired the name? I see it's called Freshman 15. Is it going to give me weight gain?
Because you just gained a wee amount of pounds.
It's a clever thing I just threw out there. Yeah. So, because I'm not.
Yeah, we get it.
So, it's okay.
we don't want to put you on the spot and make you say it, but
I'm not trying.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure which direction to paddle at that point.
Basically, just in a circle, dude. That works for me. It's fine, and where you get eventually somewhere. Okay, well, hey, if that's it, man, we'll let you go.
No, I think I'm good on my end.
Cool. All right, Keith. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
That's a really nice beer. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, we'll talk to you, man. Thanks.
Yep.
All right, good stuff. Again, another beer that I don't have, which sucks.
I know.
But I think on the next shows that we do in May, I think I do have those beers. So I'm excited for that. Then I can drink along with you guys, because otherwise it's sort of one-sided, and I'm drinking my Kolsch, which apparently won the bronze in the GABF in 2018, just so you guys know.
Wow. Nice.
So I'm not drinking terrible beer, but, I like drinking beers. What are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back, and we're going to talk to Nate who's going to the bathroom.
I know. So what the hell?
I was dumping out my beer into a
urinal. I get it.
My hydro flask.
No, I'm just
what I've got here.
Yeah.
I shelter in place, not urinate in place, Brian.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't piss myself. I just dumped my beer out into my lap on accident. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. It's Dr. Homebrew. Thanks for hanging out. Stay with us.
Ma'am, I'll need to take your top off for this examination.
Oh, doctor.
All right, thanks for sticking around, everybody. Before we get to Nate and his Catharina Sour, I want to remind you guys about the folks at Duke Cannon. They have a great body wash called Thick, high viscosity body wash. I personally use it. I have bottled, actually, to be completely honest with you, all of my personal grooming liquids are Duke Cannon. I use nothing else. I have Duke Cannon shampoo. I have Duke Cannon body wash. I have two Duke Cannon body washes, as a matter of fact. I have Duke Cannon bar soaps. I have two of those. I'm holding up 3 fingers because I'm stupid. All of my shower cleaning stuff is Duke Cannon. It smells great. It works great. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But they're $9 a piece, or you can buy all 4 for $30. You have scents that range from clean citrus profiles to fresh water and bergamot to tobacco to peppermint, pine, and eucalyptus, which is called Productivity, which is what I have. It's good stuff. So please check them out. They support the show, and they want to support you smelling good and clean your damn skin. You know what I'm trying to say? So go to DukeCannon.com. Use promo code BREWING for 15% off your entire order, which is no joke, especially if, we're locked down here. We can't get to the store. We don't want to spend a whole lot of time at the store right now. So order as much stuff as you can from other different places, especially if they're friends of the show like Duke Cannon are. So check them out, bring them in, and you get free shipping with orders over $35. And they have so much more than just the body wash. Trust me, they have a lot of cool stuff. You can send stuff as gifts. So, you have a smelly uncle or a stinky cousin, just send them a bunch of soaps. And then that way, hopefully they'll get used to smelling good by the time you get to hug them, kiss them again. You know what I mean? I kiss my cousins, and I hug them.
Looks like they make beard balms too. I might have to try some of that.
They make a ton of stuff, man. Yeah, they're good. They're good people. They support us. All the stuff's made in the U.S. too, so that's good for everybody involved. DukeCannon.com, promo code BREWING, 15% off. There you go. All right, let me get Nate back on the line. Brian, go ahead.
I don't know. I just I was excited. I saw big bourbon beard balm made with Buffalo Trace bourbon.
Nice.
Duke Cannon.
I have that. They call it the Solid Cologne, which is made with I want to say Buffalo Trace. They just say bourbon, I think is what it is.
I mean, that's just so. If you want to reel a man in, grab him with booze.
That's right.
Here's our products. They have booze in them.
Basically,
they smell great.
Well, and
you walk around smelling like booze.
You know what? Honestly, I use the Solid Cologne as sort of like I just rub it on my beard a little bit too, because it's it's easier to put on that way. Put a little bit on the neck, and then kind of on the beard, and it does a 2-in-1 format. But I bet the beard balm is a little bit better specifically for that. Nate, are you there?
I'm here. Thanks.
Hey, what's going on, man? Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, good to talk to you guys.
So we're going to be drinking, and I say we, not me, drinking a Catharina Sour with passion fruit. Is this a relatively new project for you, or is this something you've done before?
No, this is brand new for me, doing a sour beer. And there's a competition here that's supposed to happen in April that didn't happen because of COVID. So made a couple of batches of beer and made a 6 gallon, split it into 2 batches. So this is the passion fruit side of that.
Okay. What's the other one?
I did a cranberry on the other half of it.
Oh, okay. How'd that come out?
I think they both came out pretty good. The cranberry probably a little better than this one, but you guys will tell me that, I guess, hopefully.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Shar, you're up, man.
All right. One of the things I love about doing this show is I get a chance to drink beer I'd never have a chance to drink otherwise. And this is like the 2nd or 3rd Catharina Sour I've ever had. And all of them have been home brews, and they've all been through Dr. Homebrew. So I guess I have some familiarity with the style now. It's really kind of cool. I like this beer a lot. Aroma, really super, super fruity aroma. I get almost like a guava character from it. I'm not like super familiar with passion fruit, but I got like a guava character to this, which is really tasty. The fruit is in fact, our local brewery, Del Cielo here in Martinez, does a kettle sour called Guava Dreams that's actually really good. And this reminded me a little bit of the one that I get just down here at the brewery. The fruit is very high level. It dominates the aroma. I do get a very low malt aroma. No lactic or really sour aromas, but still, this is supposed to be a very fruit-forward beer, and it is. So I gave this 8 out of 12 for aroma. Appearance, 3 out of 3. It's crystal clear. The low head is very, very persistent. Color is golden. Flavor, initially, it's dominated by fruit at a very high level, just like the aroma. In mid-palate, there's sort of some lactic sour that comes up at a low level to balance. And I also get a little bit of Brett-type funk that's also present. And it was a couple hours ago. And if I come back to that, I still get a little bit of that, but not nearly. I think whatever I was tasting, it's not as I'm not really getting the Brett funk now that I was earlier. And it's interesting. The lactic is really funny. When this was colder, about 2 hours ago, I didn't think it was that lactic, and now I really like the lactic level. I think it's really good. It's not rip your enamel off your teeth sour, but it's definitely present, and it's a nice counterbalance to the fruit. Get no hot bitterness or flavor, which is okay for style. Very well attenuated. Even when it was colder, I thought the lactic sort of dominates the far finish. This beer's got quite a finish. I mean, a good half minute after you take a sip, there's still something that you're tasting in your mouth, and it's really good. So I gave it a 14. I'd be inclined to come up a couple of points because I gave that's the difference between having the sort of Brett funk that really shouldn't be there, that I kind of got before that I really don't get now. So I'd come up to probably a 16 at this point. Mouthfeel, body is medium low. Carbonation is also kind of medium low. Carbonation I thought was a little low for the style. This is kind of a Berliner Weiss-esque beer. And my perception of the carbonation was could be a little more effervescent. I'm not always good at detecting carbonation, though. I'd be curious about Brian's opinion. I don't get any warming, which is fine. It's perky rather than creamy, not astringent. Give it 4 out of 5. Overall impression, I really liked the fruit character of the beer. I thought there was perhaps, my comments in the overall impression had to do with sort of a Brett funkiness that I'm just not really getting now. So I gave this overall impression, I'd give it a 7 for a total of 36. I would come up to probably more like a 39 on this one. I think it's really well done. I'll be curious about your process and your technique. If this is a kettle sour, I mean, typically I'm not a big fan of kettle souring, but if you did that, man, this thing is just perfect. And it's a golden example of what a kettle sour could be. So very well done.
Wow.
Really
Nice.
liked it. And I will finish this bottle after the show. So, Brian?
All right, Cooper.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just so in case people ever have confusion about what to call us, you can just call me Brian 1 because I was here first. Was there ever any other Brians on the Brewing Network that before me?
No, but it's weird because before we started the show, you wanted me to call you Supreme Leader, and I don't know where the switch came from.
Supreme Leader.
Yeah.
Yes. Beloved Leader also works.
What's also funny is that my partner's best friend is named Brian, so she will call him Brian 1 and me Brian 2 because he was there first. So I'm like number 2 in every aspect of my life. That's okay.
Wow.
Who does number 2 work for?
Well, clearly the Brewing Network.
That's right.
Right on. So you're Brian 2. It's settled. We don't have to call you Esquire. All right. So this Catharina Sour. Yeah, again, I have had more of these on the Brewing Network than I've had other places, but I'm happy to see this style coming up in popularity because it's a really cool one. And if you want to follow along with us, you can search for BJCP X4 or just search for Catharina Sour if you can spell it. There's a style guideline for it. And when you're reading along the guideline, it really helps you to understand the beer when you're tasting a newer style like this. They published this in June of 2018, but I think it was just something that popped up as the history originating in the Brazilian state of Santa Catarina in 2015 as a collaboration between craft brewers and home brewers to create a beer featuring local ingredients that was well suited to the warm climate. And I would say this beer is definitely suited to that kind of a thing, a warm, hot, sunny, humid area. You could drink a lot of this. So explore that a little bit. There's a lot of information about it, and it's kind of a fun thing that's popped up. So the bottle when I opened it had a light hiss, a good fill level, maybe just a bit high, but the nose is really nice. So it's pleasant, bright passion fruit right up front, dominating as it should. So these styles are just like, they're more fruit than malt. Honestly, it's the malt is kind of not super characterful in these beers. And if you get too crazy with the specialty malts, it's gonna hurt it. The fruit stands out, and clean lactic sourness behind that. I'm not really getting any Brett funkiness here myself. I think that I'm getting just the tropical fruit character gives you a little twist, and it's a nice one. There's no hops, as there should not be any. A low, clean base, kind of light malt accenting only, and no hop. I already said that. No DMS, no diacetyl. Very clean and fruity. It's very pretty, good clarity, just touch of haze, not too much. Low white head that doesn't persist. It sticks around for a little while, so I'm able to rouse the head here. The beer is a light golden color. There's some mostly finer bubbles, but a few larger bubbles in there. Flavor wise, again, passion fruit, medium intensity. It's not a passion fruit bomb, but it's fresh tasting, and I really like the way it's expressing itself there with the low lactic sour quality behind it. Again, like Brian said, it's not a in-your-face sour bomb. It's just clean, low lactic sourness that twists and plays off the fruit, and the fruit plays off of it very nicely in tandem. The maltiness is clean, light, kind of out of the way again. No overly, not overly sour, but it's just working well together. It's balanced to the fruit character. I wouldn't say it's balanced to the malt or the hops. There's no hops. The malt is out of the way. It's balanced to the fruit, and that's for this style. That's where the balance lies. So, not heavily towards the fruit. It's not like drinking fruit juice, but I wish our listeners could taste this. I would encourage them to try brewing one of these sometime, and maybe Nate can tell us how he did it. Mouthfeel wise, it's medium light bodied. Carbonation is medium low. Not getting any astringency here. No warmth. It's just the main component of the mouthfeel that this beer expresses itself with is the refreshing quality, and again, perfect for a hot summer day. A light acidic bite, but the beer dries off at the end, making you just want another sip. And really nice mouthfeel. Overall impression: it's a nicely crafted Catharina Sour with plenty of passion fruit character in the nose. It seems to be a bit less in the flavor, but still shines nicely. I would say this could benefit from just a bit more carbonation, a little more prickle, and a touch more fruit somehow in the flavor if you could. But sometimes you have to use a lot of fruit to get to that the point in the beer where you're getting that so much, just the right level of fruit character. But I think I actually came up a point too, like Brian did, to you came up a few points maybe, Brian. I went up to a 39 myself as well, so we're matching here. This is a really nice.
We're both right about 39.
A very nice Catharina Sour. Excellent job.
Okay. Very, very good. Nate, do you want to give us a little recipe action here?
Sure, yeah. So this is my first sour, definitely first Catharina Sour. Again, I tried doing this for a competition. That didn't happen, so I thought I'd send it out to you guys for some evaluation, and I really appreciate your feedback. So from the malt bill here, it was a 10-pound batch, and I tried to go for 6 gallons or close to that. So just a little bit of 2-roll, but the bulk of it was Pilsner, and then a little bit of wheat in there as well. So that's where you're probably getting that crisp flavor from. And again, I tried making this a fruit-forward beer, kind of like the style happens. And so to get that fruit from a passion fruit, Central Wisconsin here, we don't get those type of fruits here very often, and certainly not in January and February when I brewed this. So I went through the I think it's amaretti purees, So I went with one of those, and actually, so it's kind of experimenting with that, and I think they recommend 1 to 2 ounces per gallon. So, I split this batch, like I said, between cranberries, which I had whole cranberries. Not a lot of people know, but Wisconsin is very known for cranberries. We've got a lot of cranberry bogs around here. So I did half the batch on cranberries and half the batch on passion fruit here. And I really had a tough time getting the flavor of the passion fruit out of it. The nose was very apparent, even at 2 ounces in that 3-gallon batch. It was very floral and very passion fruity in the nose, but to really get that flavor, I had to go pretty high. So I went to, I think it was even over 8 ounces of that 3-gallon batch, where I think typically they recommend, I guess, 1 to 2 ounces per gallon. But I really had a tough time picking up that flavor, and I'd add it 1 or 2 ounces and I'd give it a few days, and I add it 1 or 2 ounces and I'd give it a few days, and really I had a tough time picking up, and maybe that carbonation helps it a little bit. And again, you guys are picking up on low CO2. And again, I'm bottling these off of a kegerator or a keezer, basically I have in my garage. So, again, I have this a little higher than I would my normal beers. So if I'm running, 10 or 11 on my normal beers, I've got this at about a 14 for my serving pressure, just to get that a little more CO2 in there to try to be more realistic with the style. And that's really hard to do, trying to bottle off of kegs. But, I try to do my best on cap it on foam and kind of making sure the bottles are cold and doing a quick rinse, with the beer and then dumping that and then filling them. But it's really hard to preserve a lot of that CO2 in there. So I think that's where I'm falling a little short. But I personally like this beer, and I learned a lot, and using that puree was nice. But like I said, I was nervous that I was going a little heavy-handed with it, and sometimes I pick up a little more aftertaste, like having a sip, 1 or 2 minutes afterwards, I can still pick up that passion from the back. I don't think it's too overwhelming, but I was getting a little nervous that maybe it was a little heavy-handed there and not being a little bit sour. So,
what do you guys think? Is it overwhelming?
No, not at all. I think it's a good level. It could be even a touch higher. It's not, and the amaretti syrups, some people love them, and other people, as soon as you tell them it's a syrup, they hate them. But you might hand it to them and tell them it's fresh fruit, and they'd love it. But they do a pretty good job a lot of times of capturing the fruit essence. And I don't know how they do it, but we had some fun at Homebrew Con last year. My friend Jeff and I, and we were just taking different things and pouring. What do we have? I think we had some hard seltzer or something, and you could flavor it with different things from there. And we were just trying with the what was it? The grapefruit one, and that one. We took home a ton of grapefruit syrup, and I actually I saved kind of an otherwise boring IPA with just some grapefruit extract from them. I took a bunch of them home and tried to get it to the right level. And sometimes it can be said certain ones might have a kind of a more a candy like essence. You have to be careful using too much in a beer, and maybe it can be used to balance real fruit if you have it. With something like passion fruit, if you can't get it in the Midwest in January, this is all you have to work with. But it did a good job, so I'm pleased. I enjoy it, and I think it's tasty.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, and that was kind of a learning experience with that kettle sour. I kind of did some research online and figured away a few people were doing it, and kind of made it my own. That's why I do a lot of recipes, try to make it my own. But I've got one of those like immersion circulators. And basically, it's like I think they call them sous vide sometimes for cooking at a very specific temperature. And that worked out fantastic for this.
Oh, great.
On a 5-gallon. So I was able to dial in the temperature, and I kind of wanted to go a little longer than what I did, but the night I kind of mashed in, I was running out of time, and my brew day, just with young kids, it kind of crept up on me. So I was looking for more to go like 36 hours to try to get that souring out of there. And I went up going about 20 hours, and then did the boil, and then repitched with SO4. But I was pretty pleased with how it came out. I mean, it could be a touch more sour, but I think that passion fruit, just the flavors with that brings a fair amount of sourness to it and really balanced it out pretty well. And if they're just a little nervous, maybe went a little heavy with the flavoring and a little bit on the aftertaste. But overall, I was pretty happy with it for my first sour and how it came out.
Yeah, sounds like you did great.
Good job, man.
How long did you what temperature did you use and what bugs did you put in there? If you already said it, pardon me.
No, I didn't. So I did a wild brew pack from Lallemand. I think it was a sour pitch one. So I think you can do a lot of beer with that. I just did this small 6-gallon batch and it was more than enough. But I did get that pH down beforehand, down to about a 4.4 with some lactic acid. I think that's what they recommended on the packet there. So I went up trying to get that pH down before, and then I pitched that at around a 103. And I set that immersion circulator at 102, and like I say, let it go for about 20 hours. So I want to get down to about a 3.8 pH by the time everything settled out, and then that's kind of when I went and boiled everything off, and then repitched the SL4. Wound up using an immersion chiller and got that down to about 75 before I pitched that SL4. And then, like I say, it only 1 ounce of hops for this beer. Like you say, you didn't pick up much hops, but just 1 ounce of hops in there just to give it a little bit of a backbone there. And then wound up splitting the whole batch again between 2 beers. So I did this one on the passion fruit puree, and then another one on whole cranberries with just a touch of puree just to kind of help pump up that flavor a little bit.
Oh yeah, well that's a good way to do it. You have the fresh fruit and you get the puree because fresh fruit varies and puree they blend it so it doesn't. So you can definitely that's a really good way to add a little bit of extra character for sure.
Yeah, good job. I'm looking forward to tasting the cranberry one.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll do that that'll be coming up on a future Dr. Homebrew show.
Oh yeah, me too. Oh. All right, Nate. Well, hey, we'll let you go, man. If that's it.
That's all I got. Thanks, guys. Appreciate your feedback.
Thanks, man.
Cheers. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
All right, you too, man. Man, everyone's staying up late for us. I love it. All right, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back and wrap everything up, chat a little bit, and then we're gone. All right, so hang on. It's Dr. Homebrew. We'll be right back.
Hello, fellow BNers. This is Sully from the 21st Amendment Brewery located in San Francisco, just 2 blocks from Giants Park. Before Nico and I opened the 21A and before I was a professional brewer, I homebrewed on my small 4-burner apartment stove in a back house in Santa Monica, California, making my extract brews before graduating to the daunting idea of all-grain brewing. Homebrew books and information was hard to come by back then. The internet hadn't been invented yet, along with other things we take for granted today, like electricity and potable water. One thing I wish I had back then when I was learning was a radio show that could teach me the ins and outs of brewing and answer questions that I had about homebrewing, a resource for making great craft beer. The 21st Amendment Brewery is excited to be a proud sponsor of Dr. Homebrew, a great show that teaches you what you need to know about making incredible beer. Good stuff. Listen up, you might learn something. I certainly did. And thanks for your support. Tasty Crack Kings.
The leader in affordable, high-quality kegerators is here. Introducing Komos, the kegerator designed with serious beer drinkers in mind. It features an all-stainless steel draft tower, a major upgrade over traditional chrome-plated brass towers, and Komos keeps your new tower cold with their air-cooled tower fan, wrapping your beer lines in frigid coolness. Your beer is poured from innovative forward-sealing faucets that don't leak, so they stay cleaner for longer. Dual gas inlets on the rear of the fridge allow you to run both CO2 and nitrogen gas. Serve your beer with CO2, serve your kegged wine, or even cocktails with nitrogen. The digital temperature display has the largest range available, allowing you to use the Komos Kegerator for fermentation if you need to. And now Komos Kegerators ship with duo-tight draft fittings for that click-to-connect assembly we've all dreamed of. Buy direct from KomosDraft.com and receive free shipping on your order. That's KOMOS Draft.com.
Dr. Homebrew, please report to the ER for code blue. Dr. Homebrew to the ER, please. Oh, and your tea time has been moved to 2:30.
Now back to Dr. Homebrew.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Dr. Homebrew, thanks for hanging out. We're going to wrap things up here, but before we do, I want to remind you guys that, look, you're not doing anything at home. Now is probably the best time to perfect your package with the Perfect Package 3.0. I don't know if you guys saw what I did there, but I thought it was pretty cool. It comes with the...
It was pretty... I heard what you did. It was really good.
Thanks, man. It comes with the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0, which we've talked about here on this show specifically a few times. I have it. I love it. I use it for the first time. It does everything that Manscaped says it does and more. It was great. It's hard to I don't know, extol the virtues of a trimmer, because you know what I mean? Because we just usually think of like, oh, you're trimming your face, and a trimmer's good if you don't have to run over the same place a couple of times on your cheek or your chin or whatever to get it. But the Lawnmower 3.0 does a fantastic job of not slicing your ball sack. And personally, as a man who has one, I appreciate that very much. So,
and you know what?
Yes.
Nobody wants 70s bush.
Nobody does. I mean, maybe some people do, but not all the time. This gives you the option, Brian, because you can choose not to take it all the way down to the roots, if you know what I'm trying to say. You can still leave a little bit there, and it's great. So the Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with the Lawnmower 3.0. It comes with the Manscaped Crop Preserver, which is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. And when you subscribe to the package, you get a new replacement blade refill for your lawnmower every 3 months. And so what a lot of people do, I do this personally, you can subscribe to these things on Amazon. Like, so we get, it's all shit that I always fucking forget at the store, like cat food or, dishwashing tablets. Litter or, laundry detergent, right? Sponges, just the kind of dumbass crap. And so I get all that delivered, spaced out 3 months, is it 4 months or whatever. So Manscaped is doing the same thing where you just sign up for this thing. You can take care of your package. You don't have to think about it. That's the beauty of it. It just comes to your door every 3 months. And if you subscribe now for a limited time, you get 2 free gifts. You get a travel bag, which is almost a $40 value, and you get boxer briefs that are anti-chafing, which I want to try out because I'm really a big fan of the briefs that like cradle your package. You know what I mean? Because I don't like it rubbing on my leg, and it's just weird, man. But
the boxer briefs in general are the shit. That's the way to go.
They're good. Find the ones that have the little support, which it sounds like these do. So check it out. So go to manscaped.com, enter promo code brewing, and you get 20% off plus free shipping, which is great. I mean, that's just a great code. So check them out, manscaped.com. They'll take care of your package if you take care of them. That's kind of it. That's all I got.
A lot of people taking care of people and their package.
I love it. I love it very much. We love it here on the Brewing Network. Don't forget, guys, if you want more craft beer and homebrew radio, look nowhere else other than the Brewing Network. We have The Session, which we're sort of retooling the sessions now because of all this, breweries. A lot of breweries aren't open. So it's, hard to talk about how the market is treating them or whatever because it's treating everyone the same. It's shitty. It's terrible. Unless you're a big brewer that's in like a nationwide Safeway. Then you're doing all right. But for the little guys, it sucks. So, we're retooling the session, trying to figure that out, but we have tons and tons of archives. We have Brew Strong archives. We have Dr. Homebrew archives, too, of course, if you want to check that out. So be sure to hit us up. You can help us out and go to our homepage, figure out how to donate to us on PayPal. You can sign up to be a member of the BN Army. You can go to our TeePublic site. You can Google or just search for the Brewing Network on TeePublic. I think it's teepublic.com/brewing-network-store. And you can buy T-shirts from us. Old T-shirts, current, new T-shirts, something in the middle for everybody. It's fun stuff. It's a way to keep us going. I mean, there's just like everybody else. We're still actively talking about it. I don't know how long we can sustain because everything's so crazy right now. So help us out, please.
Yeah, please support Brewing Network. You can also support, if you're local here, you can support the Hop Grenade by going down and I've seen some really cool, really good beers on their site. Support your local breweries, the ones that you want to keep seeing in existence, and buy cases of cans from them, buy gift cards if you can, whatever you can do to support these people and keep them going in this time. We are going to get through this, and we're going to get back to a new normal, but we don't want to see all these great breweries go by the wayside.
Definitely. You can support our friend Crooked Lane, Teresa over there. You can go to crookedlanebrewing.com, order beer delivered. You can support Society, our friend Dougie down there. You can go to their website, whatever it is, and you can get beer delivered. You can support our friend Jamil, and I think you can pick up beer. I don't know if he actually delivers. So if you're in the Bay Area at all and you're working from home or you're furloughed or whatever, you need to get out, go for a drive, go up to Fairfield, pick up some beer, check it out. Mm-hmm. You can support the 21st Amendment by just, if you get your groceries delivered like we do, you ask the Instacart people to pick up some 2-1-A. If you go to the grocery store, look for the 2-1-A. Tell them you're still interested in buying some beers. So there's a lot of ways to celebrate and support our people. So check it out.
And also there's check it all out. But there's also some fucked up laws on the books too, where like, in Minnesota, they can sell beer to go, but they can't sell cans from their brewery to put out there. And you could contact your legislators and get them to change that shit, because it's just not right. These people are trying to make a living, and they, anything they can do. I think just nationally, they should open up nationwide beer and wine, craft beer shipping, and let people have what they want. You want to get some heady topper shit, just order it. You want to get something from Wisconsin, order it. And it should be able to ship. Like California, we're kind of lucky because you can ship beer here, but other places you can't.
I agree. States' rights are cool and all, and I appreciate all that. But when it's regulating dumb shit like alcohol, especially like that, like shipping cans of beer across state lines, shouldn't be a hard thing to deal with. You know what I mean? I agree with that.
Exactly,
If there's any silver lining to any of this, maybe it's that, at least in California, the Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control, California ABC, is letting people, is relaxed a lot of regulations as far as alcohol delivery, alcohol takeout. And there was never any real reason that you couldn't take, like, was it like our buddy Matt Sager at Danville Brewing Company, loves making the tiki drinks, and he went to Trader Vic's, got like a few mason jars of cocktails to take home. There was never a good reason why you shouldn't be able to do that. You can go to the liquor store and buy a bottle of booze. How come you can't go get a sealed jar and take it home? So hopefully some of the stuff will continue afterwards, when the state realizes, like, we didn't all burn the state down because we could get a cocktail delivered to our house.
Yeah, I'm happy too.
Sure.
They're allowing tap rooms to fill growlers.
Yes.
But bottle taps in Pleasanton. My buddy Eric runs that, and I know all these restaurants, businesses are struggling that sell beer, and you can't go there and drink a beer anymore. But again, you can buy a gift card from them. You can go get a growler filled now. Of course, it's a new growler. You can't just bring your old shitty growler in there anymore. But they can give you their good beers, and they've got some great ones.
Yep,
exactly.
Got to keep it going. All right, everybody, we're gonna get out of here. Stay safe, stay home, stay off the beaches, wash your hands, don't cough on each other, and we'll be able to get out and have a beer together in no time. So this has been Dr. Homebrew. Thanks a lot. We'll catch you later.
Share your toilet paper.